Hello everyone, welcome back to a new PSA Archive YouTube video. I know I left you all in the dust a bit. I didn't really mention much on this channel about what's going on. I've posted them on Patreon and stuff, on my Discord as well, with updates with what's going on at the moment, and I'll give you all a quick little update now actually, because if you don't follow those social medias and stuff, you wouldn't know what's going on, but here we go. Basically, what had happened the past 2 weeks is I've been really sick for like a couple of days, and then I've been working and stuff as well, trying to get this video done. And I apologize for not at least posting a YouTube community post on it, but it happens, and at least I did post on Discord and Patreon to give you guys an update, but there you go. And basically with the videos, it's going to be once every week or two, depending on how long the video is, so yeah, that's that. I know you all might be used to me posting like 2 videos a week, but realistically, I'm working like full time at the moment. I'm not going to be able to do that. So anyways, with that out of the way, I am here today to recreate my PSA/PIF company ranking tier list. So we're going to be ranking all the companies from worst to best. That's pretty much it. I just want to get straight into it. First off, we have the company Above the Influence. Well, with Above the Influence, they're not good. They're not good. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. They got PSAs like the Flat PSA and the Kitchen Dog PSA, where the girl's on weed and then she's talking to a dog that's sitting in the kitchen. And then there's the Not Again PSAs. None of them are good. They're just like meme worthy, so I don't really have too much to say about Above the Influence. They're just pretty bad. I don't think they've had one good PSA in like at all. Their PSAs are always memed on and even parodied in Family Guy. Like, I don't know what to say. If your PSA gets parodied in a TV show like Family Guy, you know your PSA sucks. So basically, I know we're starting this one off strong, but it's going in bads here. Above the Influence sucks. Next off is a company I'm actually passionate about, which is Ad Council. An interesting one. Ad Council has made a lot of good PSAs. They've made some brilliant PSA campaigns, such as Smokey Bear and Vince and Larry PSAs. They've also got a lot of good like seatbelt PSAs. They do have some cheesy and corny ones, like the Skeletons one from the 80s. But it's still not bad, because you can hear Michael Jackson's Beat It in that one. You hear the boom 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 beat it beat it. You just hear that in the song. It's like, this feels so fucking 80s. But as the company goes, they're actually pretty good. They're pretty good. I think they're one of the best companies out there making PSAs, and they still make PSAs to this day, which I haven't really seen many of their modern PSAs, but they're not bad from what I've seen. They're not bad at all. So you know what? Ad Cancel's gonna go in the great tier. I don't know if I'll put them in best, but they're staying in great at the moment. Might make changes at the end and see how they go. Barnardo's is next. With this company, I don't really see many of their PSAs. So the only PSAs I've really seen is the life story PSA, where they follow the kid as he gets younger and younger, showing how his mental state is at those ages and stuff. And there's the Break the Cycle PSA as well. As those PSAs go, they're good PSAs. So going off that, I don't know if they've really made many other PSAs. I need to really look into Barnardo's a bit more. But as they go, it's a good tier. They are good. They've made good PSAs, so I think good tier's fair. Concerned Children's Advertisers. An iconic company if you lived in America or Canada. Like, they were very iconic throughout the 90s. Their PSAs were everywhere. Especially the PSAs like Hip Choice and Don't Put It in Your Mouth and all stuff like that. And House Hippo and Smart as You and everything like that. They were iconic. They are iconic still for Americans and Canadians. And even like, I don't even live in those countries and I feel like they're iconic. I can see why they became such a massive thing. Coupled with the fact that they were always on TV, as well as actually just being iconic PSAs on their own, I can see why. And generally with their PSAs, I feel like they are good. I would probably put them in good tier, to be honest. I don't know if they're great, but they do have some good PSAs out there. There's just some other PSAs of theirs that are just like really weird, not really making much sense. So you know what? They're in good tier. Fire Kills, honestly, a great company. They've made a lot of good PSAs, but then again, that pull your finger out PSA is just very weird. And pull your finger out, whatever the fuck it is, like, that's weird. But they do have really good PSAs like Night Vision and Francis the Firefly and all stuff like that, and the Excuses Kill PSA, and the Smoke Alarm PSA. I can't think of what it's called, but The one where the bloke forgets to change his smoke alarms. It's like a twist at the end. I really like that one, actually. You know what? Fire kills. Would I put them in great? I probably would. I think fire kills, it deserves a great tier. I don't know if they're not the best tier. I don't think they're the best tier, but they're great. They are great. All right, Greenpeace. Greenpeace is interesting. I haven't really seen any more recent PSAs of theirs besides from Turtle Journey, which that's a good PSA anyway. They have the Have a Break PSA, which is a good one as well. And then they have the Everything is Not Awesome PSA too, which all of these PSAs are good. I like all these PSAs. I think they're pretty good. That's the thing with Greenpeace though. Would I really say they're great? Would I say they're great? It's kind of in the middle. I feel like it's in the middle of good and great. Like they have really good PSAs, but I don't know if I'd put them in great tier. It's kind of just like, yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. So you know what? At the moment, I'll put them in front of Barnardo at the moment. So the top of good tier. I might put them in great tier, but I really don't know. Montana Meth Project, an interesting one. A very interesting one because the company has had some really high ups and just some like really weird PSAs that aren't really that bad, but they've had some really good PSAs too though. Like the Ben PSA, I've talked about that one a million times. Deep End, Parents. There's a lot of good PSAs like that. And then you have a weird PSA like Everything Else, which is just like, what? So what? And it's the only PSA I can think of that has a Korn song in it. So at least that has a bit of praise there because I like Korn. As Montana Meth Project goes, I don't think they're great per se, but I think they are the top of good. I really think they are top of good. Oh, nah, I'm putting them in great tier actually. I think they really do have some great PSAs that are really good and really effective. I really think they do. Even though there's like one or two PSAs I'm not a big fan of, I think they do have really good PSAs. So I'm putting them at the bottom of great tier. NHS. This is a company I haven't seen many PSAs like as of recently. I think the most recent PSA theirs I've seen is the antibiotics song. But that's a catchy PSA by the way. It's probably like the best PSA in my opinion. That's probably the best. Probably the best. Like they do have other PSAs like Anthony Hicks and Beaten Body, which those aren't bad PSAs at all either. I think they do have the Hooked PSA, which is the one with the guy getting the fish hook in his mouth like that. You know what? I think they're good. I think they're good. They're the bottom are good. I'll put them the bottom are good. They do have good PSAs, but I don't think they're really that great at all. NSPCC. Well, you know where they're going. It's just as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Like, they really are that good. I don't think they've made one bad PSA at all. And they hit. They're really effective. Like, damn. Think of the PSAs like Excuses, Don't Look, and like Lucy and the Boy, and even Ventriloquist and stuff like that. And the most obvious one that gets under my skin is Can't Look. Like, that gets under my skin so much. But then again, it's a really good PSA. But they're going at the top. They're going in the best tier. There's no argument. There's no argument. New Zealand Transport Association. To be honest, I haven't seen that many of their PSAs. Like, I probably have, but I haven't realized. But like, if there's a few that I remember. Like there's Trapped, there's the Murderer PSA, and then there's Split. That's the main ones I can think of. Which those PSAs are good. Don't get me wrong. They are good PSAs. So with the company, like I think honestly, Trapped and Murderer are good PSAs. They're actually really good PSAs. So you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to put NZTA between Barnardo's and Greenpeace. I think that's fair. Partnership for a Drug-Free America. This is an interesting one because then again, they've had some really good PSAs and some really, really bad PSAs. They're just such a mixed company because they chucked out so many PSAs throughout the 80s and 90s. So honestly, I think I have to be fair. Even though they have like iconic PSAs like Drug Rap, Diving Board, Cemetery, Snake, and there's just so many PSAs. There's so many. I could sit here all day talking about how many iconic PSAs I had because most PSAs in the 80s were theirs. They were theirs. So, you know what? Like, I do like the company because they do have some great PSAs. They really do. Especially like Nebraska Couple. That's a banger. I don't know. There's some really bad PSAs too, though. I'm keeping him in okay at the moment because they've got some really high highs, but they've got some really low lows as well. That's the biggest problem. Now, next off, Partnership for a Drug-Free Singapore. I find it weird how there's like only one other country that uses Partnership for a Drug-Free, like that branding. I find that really weird. Like, it's only America and Singapore. There's no Partnership for a Drug-Free France or Partnership for a Drug-Free Australia or anything like that. There's nothing like that. Like, because for example, in Australia, we actually have the government releasing PSAs about stuff like that. Like Lost Dreams and the ICE PSA. Those are all from the Australian government. So I find that interesting. There's only 2 countries that use that naming for like a company to get people to get off drugs. But as Partnership for a Drug-Free Singapore goes, I think you all know it's a best tier. They are awesome. Like the Rats PSA, You're a Guinea Pig. They're all brilliant. Like, I really enjoy their PSAs, so I'm putting them up the top. I don't think there's arguments against that. So an extra one I put in here, Parents for Responsible Viewing. I think you know where this one's going. It's going in bad. I put it in here as a meme because the Picky Bear PSAs, yeah, they're bad. They're bad, but they're just so ridiculous that you can't believe that they're real. It's like one of those things where you're just like, huh? What? How did they do that on television? It's just one of those things where it's just like, it's so shocking that you're surprised that it's actually a thing. So they're a bad tier. There's no argument. Even though I love Biggie Bear because it's just so dumb that it's funny. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Another one that's an obvious bad tier, PETA. There's obvious PETAs in there. They've had some really meme-worthy PSAs like the Silent Scream PSA, which everyone's made fun of, I think, at this point. They had the When I Grow Up PSA and the Singing Cows PSA, which they're all bad. They're all bad PSAs. I don't know what to tell you. They're just terrible. They suck. Yeah, it's a bad tier. There's no argument about that. But from one animal rights company to a good one, RSPCA in Australia. RSPCA in Australia is a great tier. I don't think there's arguments against that. They're a great tier. I love their PSAs. I love Pip the Dog. I love the Kittens PSA. I think they're all good. Even though a PSA like Kittens is a bit more disturbing, I still think it gets its message across in a very good way. Like, I think the company's great. I think they really are. They are good. But you go from one RSPCA to the original RSPCA, the UK one. Now let's talk about the UK RSPCA. Now this is a question. Where do I put them? They've had some good PSAs and some bad ones. Like, I think the swim and yard PSAs are good. But then again, I think How Much Is That Doggy and the My Little Puppy PSAs are just extreme, over the top ridiculous. You know, I think they're in okay with Partnership for a Drug-Free America. I feel like they're very similar in that regard, where they have PSAs that are really good and some that are really bad. There's like, I feel like there's no in between. So I'm putting them in the middle. I'm putting them in okay. I don't think they're actually that good at all. They do have some interesting concepts and stuff for their PSA, but or their PSAs in general. But they're mid-tier. They're very mid. C. I can't remember where I put them last time, but their PSAs aren't that bad at all. I think it's just the honestly, with time, the countdown PSAs kind of dropped for me. It's like, because I know what to expect. It's just like, nah, it's not a bad idea, but there's not much to it. There's really not much to it. But PSAs like Shadow Puppets and the sign language ones are really good. And they also have other weird PSAs like the they have the whatchamacallit, the really fit guy where he fucking pops his eye out. Like what? What? But anyways, that one, I think C goes in good tier. I think it's probably just after NHS. I really don't feel much about C, to be honest. It's just one of those companies where it's just like, I really don't know. Next off is SWR, the infamous German company that has made some really bad PSAs, like a mock. A mock is a terrible PSA. And even Attack's a really bad PSA. They did make Day Trip, which isn't a bad PSA at all. I really don't know what to say about them besides their few offensive PSAs. I really don't think I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they're that good either. Like, I'm probably gonna put them in meh tier, honestly. They're just like, like, they exist, but they do have some really shit PSAs too, and they have some alright ones as well. So they kind of just, that's all I feel, just meh. TAC on the other hand, TAC for me, I feel like they're like best tier. I know last time when I was ranking their PSAs, they were in a rough spot. They did have some shit PSAs for the past few years. This year, they came back with 2 bangers, so I'm happy. Thought they had a few years where they kind of fell off a bit. They didn't really make that many good PSAs at all for about 5 years. But the thing you have to admit is that they've made great PSAs in the past, and then now they're starting to make great PSAs again. Like this year, the To Die For and the Always Protect Yourself when you're fucking riding a motorbike or whatever. Those PSAs are great. Those are really good PSAs. And yeah, I think they are in the best tier. They deserve the best tier. I love their PSAs. They're great. I guess to be fair, it's a bit of bias. I grew up with most of the TSA PSAs. I've seen them when I've grown up and all that. So I might have a little bit of a bias, but they're in best tier. Next up is Truth. This is an interesting one. Since I've made a full video about this company as well, obviously I made a whole video about Montana Meth Project too. But I know a lot about Truth. I feel like I know a lot about their company. And the thing is, they have some awesome PSAs in the past, and then they just fell off for the past 10 years, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate, and I've even mentioned that in the video. It does suck because they did have some awesome PSAs. Don't get me wrong. They have some really good PSAs, but then again, the past 10 years has been awful. Like left swipe that, and then the It's a Trap PSA, and the depression stick, and all this. Just like, it's really soured the taste of the company. Like, it's disappointing because they had really good PSAs in the past. But you know what? I'm probably going to put them overall in good tier, like just in front of C. I think that's fair. I know I'll be a little bit higher than what you expect, but they do have some really good PSAs in the past. It's just the past 10 years has been awful for them. WorkSafe Victoria. This is another company I might have a bias for. Since I grew up with these PSAs as well, these were on more than the TSA PSAs. I remember seeing WorkSafe Vic PSAs all the time. It's ridiculous. The PSAs like Nail Gun, Beth, Kitchen, it's those ones were on all the time. And even the WorkSafe Violence PSA that came out like a year ago, that was on TV quite a bit. I remember seeing that. Even though I don't really watch TV much, whenever I'd watch it, I'd see it like at least once or twice, and it's like, oh shit, okay. And it's a good PSA. They've made good PSAs. I don't think they've made one bad PSA at all. Like, look, personally, I don't think WorkSafe Vic is in best tier. I think they're in great tier because I don't think like their PSAs have that much of a lasting impact compared to like TAC, NSPCC, Partnership for a Drug-Free Singapore, anything like that. I really think, to be honest, they're in front of Fire Kills. I think that's where they sit. They're like right in the middle of great tier. I think that's where they belong. Now, the last one is Why Do You Think? I think you all know that I do not like this company. They made PSAs like the Forest PSA, the Meat Belt PSA, Smoking Dog, the Fart PSA I covered in, whatchamacallit, the Critics' Choice DVD. They've made just terrible PSAs. They are honestly probably worse than Above the Influence. So I'm probably going to put them in front of Above the Influence. I really think that they are probably the worst PSA company on this whole list. I am not making arguments against that. They are the worst company on this list. So they're staying at the bottom. They suck. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Give it a like, subscribe. It'd much appreciated. Once again, I apologize for my absence for a bit, but I will be making videos once every week or two. Just depends how long the video is. I'll give you guys an update if it is going to be a week within a video or 2 weeks. I should be giving you updates in the YouTube community tab and Discord. I'll give you all updates and stuff like that. I need to catch up with stuff like that. I do apologize for my absence. I really do. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to comment your thoughts down below. Give it a like, subscribe. You know the jazz. That's pretty much it. Anyways, let's get into the Patreon shoutouts. Massive thanks to Diamond Pony for supporting my $2 PSA Pirate tier. Also, massive thanks to Nostalgic Unicorn, Madeline Stringer, and Juliet Wakefield for supporting my $5 Pusher tier. Lastly, a massive thanks to EB Agent Jay and Fatima for supporting my $25 Top Chef tier. If you want to know how you can get your name at the end of my YouTube videos, please make sure to check out my Patreon link down in the description or the Patreon logo on screen at the moment, as for as little as $2 a month, you can get your name featured at the end of my videos. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one.